Welcome to the Lead Pedal Podcast with your host, Bruce Outridge, where he talks all things trucking. Now let's get rolling.
Hey everybody, how we doing today? Welcome to another edition of the Lead Pedal Podcast. This is a Turnback Tuesday. You know what that means. All right, folks, turn back the clocks, clean up the spokes. This is another edition of Turnback Tuesdays with your host, Bruce Outridge. All right, and Turnback Tuesday means we're going to take a little history lesson and dive back into what happened, and we're going to find out what happened to Cabover trucks. Remember them Cabover trucks? Starting to see a few of them around, especially at the shows because guys are rebuilding them. Our big shout out to our friends over at Chrome Supply Warehouse who built a beautiful Peterbilt Cabover this year. But anyway, what happened to them? They were so much fun to drive. In fact, I learned to drive on those. We'll tell you about it right after this. Stay with us. Hey folks, you know that Bison raised their rates at the beginning of the year for owner-operators and for company drivers. And I gotta tell you, it has been so successful that they wanted to let you know exactly how much their drivers are making. That's right, they have significantly increased the base rates for their teams. So owner-operator teams can earn up to $360,000 per year. That's right, you heard me say that right, $360,000 per year. Company team drivers can earn up to $120,000 per year per driver. That's right, per driver. That's some big numbers, right? They have a wide variety of Canada-only dedicated team positions available for folks to choose from, and Bison has a steady freight to keep the teams moving. So if you want to significantly increase your base rates, then you want to make sure that you sign up for that. Now, Bison has also increased the base rates for owner-operators. Owner-operators running Canada-only can earn up to $185,000 per year. They have a wide variety of Canada-only positions for owner-operators to choose from, and Bison has a steady freight to keep the owner-operators moving. So where can you learn more about all of these things? I mean, you know, $360,000 for owner-operator teams, $120,000 for company driver teams, and owner-operators running by themselves can earn $185,000 per year. Canada only, folks, that is incredible. Well, the best place to go is to go to bisondriving.com. And while you're there, while you're talking to the team, would you let them know that you heard about it from the Lead Pedal Podcast? Hey, good luck there. You're going to make some great money working for one of the safest fleets in North America. All right, so where did those pesky Cabovers go? That's right. They were around for a long time. They were fun to drive, I tell you, from about basically 1956 to around 76. And I started in 80, and I started out driving Cabovers. So they were around, of course, a lot more longer than that. I would say actually into 85. But they were very popular, a lot of it because of the length. Back in the day, you were only allowed 65 feet from nose to tail on a tractor trailer, and in 1976 another 10 feet of length was allowed for a maximum of 75 feet in accordance with the law. So as they increased, people went to conventional units. I know probably the biggest downfall of the Cabover was if you were broke down at the side of the road, you had that whole, there's a reason they call them Cabover, the whole cab sat above the engine and you had to tip it forward to do things like repairs. And if something was wrong at the side of the road, you basically, all your stuff had to move to the front windshield. You couldn't sit in it. You had to stand outside of it. And it was really, something that people just said, I'd prefer the conventional. I can open the hood and I can always go back, take a nap if I want, whatever. So were there some advantages to Cabovers? Certainly. Maneuverability. Now, I've got a friend who used to have one. He had a big long one. He hauled B trains with it, and he said a lot of times people would give him the dock that was the tightest one to get in because he had a Cabover. And Cabovers, if they have the wheelbase that's equal to a conventional, they do not turn any sharper. The cab just sits up front, so it's deceiving. But for the most part, most Cabovers had a bit of a shorter wheelbase because you didn't need the length of the cab to be in between the front wheel and the tanks. It sat above it. So for maneuverability, they were really good at far as getting in and out of things, and seeing traffic ahead of you. Visibility, they were great because you were sitting way up ahead of everybody else and you could really see what's coming up. Probably the worst thing was their efficiency. That's right. Nothing like having a wind barrier of a big flat nose to go down. But I gotta say, I really enjoyed them, and I think as we got into later years, fuel efficiency, and of course with the rise of fuel costs, that became more and more important. And of course, Cabovers decreased like that. So, do you still see them around? Yeah, you still see them around. They're great trucks to drive. A lot of people are rebuilding them. In fact, our friends Chrome Supply Warehouse, who are sponsoring this episode, Brett Akey, the owner, just finished building a 1978 Peterbilt Cabover 352, and this thing is such a sweet deal. And where did he get his parts? Well, he got his parts from Chrome Supply Warehouse. That's right. So if you're building a Cabover or any other kind of truck and you need awesome parts for your truck, then Chrome Supply Warehouse is where I would suggest you go. And you can check them out online at chromesupplywarehouse.com, or if you happen to be going by Belleville, Ontario, just stop by. They're at exit 538 on the 401. They're on the north side of the highway in a big blue glass building. Not a glass blue building, but a blue glass building. That's where you can find them. Hey, tell them we sent you, man. They got room for 100 trucks, and if they don't have the part you need, they can get you custom parts because they are associated with 12 gauge as well. So any parts you need, they can get them for you. That's the cool thing about Chrome Supply Warehouse. So where did Cabovers go? Well, they kind of just went. That's how Cabovers go. They just went. They kind of dissolved. New trucks are made differently now. Cabovers were a bit of a rougher ride, but they were really cool to drive. I gotta say, I'm happy to be in that era where I was able to drive one. Hey, follow us for more. We got lots of Turnback Tuesday episodes coming. So join us, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube. If you want to go and see some of these Cabover trucks and the stuff that we feature every week, then go check out our YouTube channel. And of course, you know where you can find this podcast because you're already listening to it. But if you want to tell a friend, just tell them to go to their favorite podcast platform and check out Lead Pedal Radio over on Mixcloud.com. That's our entertainment voice for sure. All right, my friends, talk to you later. Be good out there. Bye for now.
This has been another episode of the Lead Pedal Podcast. For more information or to subscribe to the podcast, visit theleadpedalpodcast.com and be sure to follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter.